Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the viewers from different parts of the world, wherever you are. And welcome to the Friday Talk Show with your host, Rajiv Kulkarni, bringing you every week some new topic on the electronics manufacturing, whether it's related to the process or challenges or the trends that is happening in the electronics industry. Thank you all for continuously watching and supporting our channel and sharing our channel link with your colleagues or your friends or the other contacts. So, Global Electronics platform for electronics manufacturing is basically to serve the electronics community across the world and also share the knowledge that our expertise they bring in with them on different topics. My name is Rajiv Kulkarni, and I'm based here in Dallas, Texas, in the United States of America. And right now it's 9:01 a.m. here, the local time, which is Central Standard Time of United States. So we are continuing the sequel of the NPI introduction and how important it is in the electronics manufacturing, NPI introduction, as well as challenges and how we can face those challenges, how we can mitigate those challenges and in the NPI introduction and how important it is. So last week we covered a few points of that, and today is the 2.0 of that particular sequel that we are continuing. And in order to discuss this particular topic, we have Mr. Vishwanathan Venkatesan from the Chennai city, which is based out in southern part of India. So Vishwanathan brings a rich experience, more than 20 plus years of experience in the electronics manufacturing, whether it is related to the process related or whether it's manufacturing, whether it's equipments or whether it's the NPI. And he works for a big, huge contract manufacturing company in Chennai city in India. And so let's welcome Mr. Vishwanathan. Good evening, Mr. Vishwa. How are you this evening? And welcome to the Global Electronics Talk Show. How are you this evening, sir?
Good evening, Rajiv. So, thanks for this introduction, and it's a warm welcome for you. How about there in climate in US?
We are having summer vacation, not vacation, the climate, because we are talking about close to 35, between 35 and 40 degrees Celsius in Dallas, Texas. I think it's a summertime, so pretty much the weather is warm here. And I believe in India it's monsoon season, and you must be all facing some kind of rain, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's a
So
combined culture. I mean, temperature right now there in India.
yes, yes, yes. So Vishwa, we covered certain points last year about NPI introduction and challenges and so on and so forth. So let's continue our interactive session and welcome to the people who have just logged in for this show. You are free to ask any questions. You are free to comment on the YouTube link that is provided. And thank you and thank you the supporters as well because of your and the guests who participate in our talk show and share their wealth of knowledge to the electronics community. So let's start our session. And one question, which is, what are the biggest risks in a typical NPI project, and how do you mitigate them?
So, yeah, of course, risk is one factor like which is very predominant on the projects, especially on the new products where we can able to see. And the risk can be in NPA products can be classified under various phases, and particularly we can able to explain on the design phase where it is very predominant, and then during there is a production delay, and somewhere on the quality issues also is one of the risk, and then sometimes on the communication. So I
Hmm.
can majorly say this can be the major classifications where it affects the projects for its overall execution. So of course, when there is a problem, we have to have mitigation solutions to find the answer for this risk. In globally in project management, handling the risk is a key factor, and it's a big like it is a big factor of discussions goes on with all the divisions wherever the risk is being involved. Because typically there is another meaning on the risk area is called as that we foresee the failure, that is called as a risk. Because when there is a problem has been occurred, we can consider it as a failure because it is occurred.
Hmm.
But something that we predict which is going to be happens on the future, which is called as a risk. So in the future, in the sense, it may happen, it may not be happen. It's a hypothetical topic. We'll also be adding in this. But if it happens, we have to be prepared. That is a factor of giving the key factor on discussing this risk topic and the project management. So we have to be on the front end point, particularly in the design as well as in the production risk. We need to be taken the front foot step of earlier participation on all the activities. That is making sure that whenever there is a problem has occurred, you know the chronology of the problem, when it is
Yeah.
occurred, what state it has occurred. So that helps us to get the real forensic analysis part of getting the real problem and then getting addressing it. Or we can be well prepared when it happens how to handle it. But where it comes
Okay.
to the quality problems as well as on the communication, normally this is something in a post analysis part where it might have been hacked, or which will also has a tangible impact on your risk or on the project. So we have to
Hmm.
be on the quantitative risk management or within a backup informations. For example, when there is a quality issue happens, how you going to rectify, and how you going to pick up it back to the live form. So, or how you going to trace whatever problems have been occurred. So, in that category, there are the two core I can suggest as a methodology to be followed. Is one thing as earlier participation, and second thing is like getting the backup to make sure that if the problem has happened, how to get recovery way.
Hmm. Okay, great. Very good answer. Excellent. Very well explained too. So I know that you are in an NPI role, and you have worked in as an NPI professional. So what kind of qualities make someone very effective in an NPI role, especially when you work under some kind of a pressure, which is across multiple functions, right? And so, what kind of qualities makes someone very effective under in an NPI role?
Yeah, that's a fantastic, good question you have been asked on the right time. And of course, I would like to say NPA professionals is have to be comes from their personality. That's I strongly believe, because something
Mm,
that it's like you have to be own like a leadership part. You have to serve more of your leadership characteristics. So leadership itself in the sense like it should be come from your the way how your be lifestyle is being developed on the part. So
mm,
to be on the saying this portion, when you want to have a quality to drive a team or to handle a new product introduction, so you should be always be well organized, or to be make sure that you well aware of the situation and you know the pros and cons of all the situations. So that makes you well organized to the situation. And second thing is I can strongly believe is you should be in a good communicator, because there was always a misalignment happens with various factors, including within the team or with the team and yourself. And so you should be always being a good communicator to well align the situation back to control. And then you should be in a problem solver, So this problem solver personality is one thing that you should be very calm under the pressure. That's the thing I can
Hmm.
say, because when there is a pressure, when there is a chaos, if you are able to make yourself to be calm, 50% of your problem is getting solved. So you
Yeah.
should be able to make sure that you're on calm, even though there is something is going to be really bad. But being watching your face or with your reactions, your team should be has a confidence that of course can be achievable, or this will not be takes much risky to your yeah, tough top. So that's the thing I can say to you, and very collaborative. Next factor I can suggest that point. Say this collaborative is something that it changes between teams. So you
Hmm.
should be always be ready to jump into anybody's shoes and to make sure that they are able to be achieving the result. So you should be a multi personality oriented person, have to be there, even though you don't know the work. But of course, you have to be there, stand with them. For example, when there is an R&D work or a production work is going on, when the teams takes late time to do the job, of course when you finish your job you say, hey guys, I finished my 5 o'clock job is over, I'm going home, I have to have my relaxed time, then that will not be working well. Even though you don't have the time, you just have to put your seat and sit back and show them, yeah, I'm there with you guys, just do this.
Right. Right.
So that's the collaborative part I've been saying the portion. And you need to be detailedly oriented. Of course, you should be always be ready to catch up the issues earlier and then make sure that you are able to detail it to anybody or to your customer or to your sponsors or even within your team. So you should be able to understand and then orient the problems and then convey this. And then finally, you should always a good decision maker, because that's a crucial part. I suggest that MP person evolve, because you can collect more informations. You will be gathering a lot of informations about the situation, but the
Hmm.
final decision owner creates the final leadership part. So I can
Absolutely.
suggest that there is a core to five ownership responsibility. Should be well organized and then a strong communicator, and you should be collaborative and then be a decision making guy whenever a crucial decision has to be taken. Because when you're ready to take a decision, you always say that one you are there and you are going to be taking responsibility for everything.
Yeah. Excellent. Beautiful. So, how do you promote the accountability and communication in a team which is spread across, engineering, marketing, production, and so on and so forth? So it's a very, very tough, and I would say it's very challenging as well, because as you rightly mentioned, communication is one of the key part which plays a big and a humongous role among such a, personal or intercompany, matrix when it is involved, especially in a manufacturing organization. So how do you promote this basically, the accountability?
Okay, accountability is a good another like I can suggest that portion is a key factor on a project. I remember an example by Mr. Abdul Kalam. So our always a mentor guy who takes the
Yeah.
principal topic. So of course he's shown this accountability topic how to be expressed the way.
Hmm.
Accountability is not only just taking the problems and then showing they are the problem, or of course we always don't want to be like the problem responsible. Whenever something has been achieved, we should have to have the right way to credit uh, the, the result to back to everyone equally, not just by saying this one, yes, finally who does the job has to go and then take that things and do, yes, we are doing it. So we have to be very proper on giving this accountability factor. So in terms of taking the workload or sharing the credit, we need to be very clear on what is the roles of everyone and what is the deadline of them. And then there should be in a transparent issue to make sure that you're recording them in the right form and then as per the alignment with everyone. So this one factor is being corely concentrated to make sure that every one of the team will not have any challenge on, particularly when you make accountability for them. It could be
Right.
in a positive way, it could be in a negative form, because nobody going to challenge that you made a partiality or you made something. Yeah, they are not made. They are made. Everything is in the book. Everything is
Right.
going to be available for everyone. So it's not going to be the point. Nothing going to be biased on that point. So I suggest to say this: whomever takes the responsibility on NPA projects, It's better to have a very clear role for everyone in the team, and then set their deadlines to be very, very concrete, and then it should be aligned. It's not just say that you fix the date and people doesn't align to that point. So everyone has to be there in that part. Yes, I'm doing this, and then there should be a transparency to record what they have been doing it and where they are right now. So it's not just to blame them, it's just to make sure that where they are, at what percent they are there, so that whenever sometimes happen, this is will help us. The other people who are a bit free can also join with them to make sure if someone is not in the pace, they can help them and they can speed it up. So my
Excellent,
suggestion
excellent.
is that point, deadline setting and then make a transparency record will help for this.
Okay, great. Let's take a quick 1 minute break and we'll come back.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the Global Electronics Friday Talk Show with your host Rajiv Kulkarni. Today's topic is NPI introduction and how important it is in the electronics manufacturing, as well as the challenges that we face when we have the NPI introduction in the electronics manufacturing. And we have today Mr. Viswanathan Venkatesan from Chennai city in India. And Vishwanathan carries a rich experience in the electronics manufacturing for more than 2 decades. And he is currently employed with a huge manufacturing electronics manufacturing services company in the NPI engineering sector. Welcome back after this small break, Vishwanathan ji, and then we continue here with our interactive session. So, what kind of advice you would give to the companies who are struggling with the failed or delayed product launches?
Of course, yeah, this can be a small advisory part I can suggest, but not to the best part. So, from my experience, I always suggest the person who takes responsibility in the NPA has to be in the early participation with the team, especially from the planning, and to make sure they have selected the right crew for the team, and then the task what been assigned for them is been reasonably is okay with the result, and then make sure that whatever been appearing or been taken into care was been recorded well and reviewed frequently.
Mm.
So, and this is make sure that, of course, there can be failures, but if there is a project failure, which is have a big impact, but if there is a minor hiccups or a small failures or blockages are there in the project, still it can be recoverable. So we should not be making to wait for the project to end to monitor. So we need to have multiple phases to make sure that you have been fulfilled that requirement to pass on to the next phase. So I
Okay.
suggest the portions generally in my work style. I used to prefer to maintain the team of planning phase. First, I will still used to take, and then next is preparation, and next comes execution, and then finally I will ask them to make a closure and report. So this is something as a sub phases. So to make sure that that you have been achieving the milestones actually, and then without any impact. So this is will make sure that we don't face direct failures on the product launches or any delay in the way.
Okay, great. And what are the pros and cons, of
Of
NPI?
course, pros and cons. It's something that we should also have to think like anything which we overdo will always goes from pros and cons. So
Yeah.
that's how to say this. So whatever we suggest, whichever is pros, Again, it goes to cons when things is overdue. So I suggest that point is like normally NPA does is giving a benefit of reducing the risk and catching the problem earlier, and then of course we are improve the quality because we will capturing the failures before, and then we ensure that the launching of market is been secured. Like we well aware the situations where things is going wrong, and then of course we will have a very good team so that we can consistently take a confidence on moving forward with your customers and take new business because we know how the teams works well and what type of uh, the strength they have.
Hmm.
In drawback we can normally suggest what happens, right? Like we spend more upfront time of reviewing so that there will always be some time of cost is involved because instead of your timeline before your project starts you spend some more time with your team and then makes the review and the stuff, so that will add some time. So again, time is a cost factor. And then of course
Correct.
whenever we overdo the review, of course with many things to take into consideration, that will reduce the activity speed of your project. So we have to be prioritized which has to be primarily the focus for this phase, and then required a strong communication and discipline on an effective way. So okay, so like whenever you keep asking the team to get do many things, of course it's a team, it's not something that we can push them or we can force them. So we should be have to have that tendency that we should not over concentrate or micromanagement their factors, because we should not say I'm recording you, I'm highlighting you, or I'm giving more transparency information makes them they should not feel your micromanagement.
Hmm.
So I see that
Excellent.
it's three factors: the cost, micromanagement, and the time, which will be somehow it makes an impact on this.
Okay, great. So, what are the, how do you think how to handle the multiple NPI projects?
Sounds good. Of course, multiple NPA project is another factor. Like in many of the factories, they have been experienced such things because you need to have one NPA manager or an engineer who manage various activities. So the
Correct.
best impacted thing is what we have to do, that we have to have proper management tools to make sure that if we have been recording the tracking, because whenever you have multiple projects to handle, definitely you will not be able to go for micromanagement to capture every information, so or track it, but you need to make sure that wherever your need is there, you need to be make sure that your presence on the point. So this multiple projects normally been occurring on various factors, especially on factory level, especially the greenfield projects or brownfield projects, where there are multiple tasks is to be enabled, like the complete forum, man, machine, material, methods, and every area has to be developed. So I can suggest that those areas you need to be have a multi personality to make sure that you have a right tool of project management, and then you have right members of your deputies to make sure that they are able to convey the right information back to you in understand form. And you have to be having a flexible point of timing informations where the team has to be cooperate with you to show that
Hmm.
something is wrong, then you will be able to support them.
Excellent. So, I think the last question of the session looks like I have for you a recommended best working model for NPI.
Okay, best methods for working, something that it is always been there by their own technology the people used to maintain, but in a global form from my study, I've gone through many of the uh, known persons who have been gone through this NPA exercises. I can see that the Robert G. Copper methods have been have a very good result on various critical projects because he maintained a stacked gate method model.
Yeah,
So stacked gate
correct.
method model in the sense like it is at a mountain climbing factor. Like you can see
Yeah.
the mountain climbers, they never climbs in a one straight form and then make sure that they are be reaching off. They makes an staging factors and staging gates. So making sure that whenever something goes wrong, they will not be able to go to zero. They will be able to go the last success point. They will be able to stand hold. So that stage gating method I always suggest for NPA team members
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
they can able to handhold with the last good area. not to just to drop from the zero.
Okay.
So that's always my suggestion point today. Of course, you can able to see that from year of 1980s onwards, this methodology has been helped on various industries, and they are able to succeed this factor. So my suggestion is there: go, kill, hold, and recycle. Normally, I used to push the team to get this job line like this. So go means, yeah, proceed to the next station. You have to make sure. Kill means just don't do that because it's not strong enough that you can proceed further. Hold means
Right.
just to make sure that you have been well studied, you have been well have the knowledge, or you don't have the knowledge, just hold on. Just don't move anywhere else. And recycle means find the next path. You don't be there stick to that part because humans are bounded to have mistakes. You can't say that when I develop my plan, I stick to the plan, I will not change my plan. That's a wrong factor. Whenever there isn't a changes need to be there, of course we have to take a right decision to go for the next route. So keep the memory that go, kill, hold, and recycle. That's a good methodology I suggest for everyone.
Excellent. Excellent. So, Mr. Vishwanathan, I think we are almost coming to the end of the session. These were very excellent, I would say, NPI introduction and challenges, two sessions we had back to back. And I'm pretty sure this is very helpful for the audience, whoever is going to watch and in the future, because it's always there in the YouTube, our channel. And Mr. Vishwanathan is a very experienced person, a professional in the electronics manufacturing industry, based out in Chennai, which is one of the big cities in the southern part of India. And he works for a very large contract manufacturing electronics company in the NPI engineering managerial position and carries wealth of experience. So, audience, definitely please, take a good use of this channel, from our expertise when they contribute their wealth of knowledge for our electronics community, for the gain of the new engineers, the process engineers, or the experienced people as well. So, Mr. Vishwanathan, before we say sign off for today, you have anything that you would like to convey to our audience?
So, first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Rajiv for the
Thank you so
opportunity
much.
for giving me this moment and take me to this portion of sharing my opinion and my experience with the entire team and with the global level members who have been named. So, of course, knowledge transfer is always a best practice. So, we learn and then we share. So, that's always I believe. So, I like to thank Rajiv for your good work on this electronic industry.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope the peoples from the new generation will take these knowledge because they are very active in medias and social medias. So
Yeah.
I like to say that rather than reading and then they can listen and then they take this ideas and they can make a better world with a good knowledge factor. Thanks for this
Excellent.
opportunity.
Excellent, and definitely we'll come back with Mr. Vishwanathan in the our upcoming future episodes with the different topics, and we would love to have you back again with the different topics so that we can have more knowledge sharing episodes. With that said, I want to thank all the audience. I want to thank all the supporters and also for the people who watch and support our channel on a regular basis. Thank you, one and all, and have a wonderful weekend. And with the next week, we'll come out with another new topic and with another speaker for sure, with another guest, and to share the wealth of electronics knowledge. Have a wonderful weekend, and wherever you are, please do take care of your health, and God bless. God bless all. Bye.
All right. Thank you.